resume. So good afternoon or evening. Thank you for joining today. So this week I've been working a little bit, really personally. I'm doing a lot of work on my fifth chakra, but I also find it like when you work on either one of them, you're also helping remove blockages that will also kind of allow for the energy to flow more freely among all of the channels of all the different chakras. But I prepared this like well-rounded practice like we did on Tuesday. Today, similar, but I added some things. And it's a well-rounded practice that includes some like a little bit of all different categories of poses. And it kind of goes progressively working all the different chakras, from the root one, from the grounding, all the way up to the crown of your head. I will mention a little bit which one we're working on more kind of like more intensely, or more when we're focusing more on one of them than any of the others. But anytime you work on one, as I said at the beginning, and you align and really create necessary actions to release any blockages, then you're really helping realign everything else. So we'll have a little bit of standing poses, a little bit of core work, a little bit of twist, back bending, and some inversions, some modified versions of inversions, which we also did on Tuesday, and I added a couple more today. So ideally you have at least one block. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or shoe boxes, as I just learned. It's a really good idea. And just make sure you have them near the top of your mat. And please come to child's pose, Balasana. So big toes touching, knees a little wider than your outer hips, but just make sure that you rest your ribcage on top of your thighs, like so. Forearms and forehead down on the ground. And begin to deepen and lengthen your breath. On the muscles at the back of your throat to create sound as you inhale and exhale, Ujjayi Pranayama. And make your breath even, so the length of the inhalation and exhalation are the same. Take a moment to arrive and feel your connection to the earth, the weight of your body resting on the ground. Your ribs moving into your thighs with your breath. And on your next inhale, come up into all fours, hands and knees. Hands outer shoulder distance apart. Bring your knees to be slightly behind your hips. Hear your breath. Feel transferring of the weight, and notice the parts of your body that are in direct contact with the earth, hands, knees, shins, and tops of your feet, and how much weight there is in any one of those parts. Hear your breath. And on your next exhalation, pull your navel and your front ribs up away from the floor and round your back. Come into cat pose, keeping your shoulders directly in line with your wrist, so you don't move back to the cat pose. Look at your heart. Ooh. And then begin to lift your chin, lift your gaze, your head. Move your thighs back, widen your sitting bones apart, lengthen your spine. Draw your shoulder blades in towards your spine, but keep your belly gently tucked. Cow pose. And exhale, cat. Pull your navel and your front ribs up away from the floor towards the sky. Bring your chin towards your chest. Round your back as much as you can to push down with your hand. Feel the stretch everywhere. And then slowly, as you inhale, begin to lift your head, your gaze. Move your thighs back, widen your sitting bones. Keep your shoulders in line with your wrists. Draw your shoulder blades into your spine, but keep your belly in your wrists. Gently come. Again, exhale, push the floor away. Begin to round, belly and navel in towards the sky. Chin towards your chest, pat. Feel the stretch on every single one of the sides of your ribs, wherever you can feel stretch happening. Lengthen your sitting bones towards your knees. Then inhale, lift your head. Move your thighs back, widen your sitting bones apart. Lengthen your spine, draw your shoulder blades in. Keep your belly and your ribs gently toned. Maintaining that. Tuck your toes under, back behind you. We're gonna turn around so you can kind of see this. We're on all fours. Tuck your toes under, like so. Move your hands towards your knees. Lower your heels down into the earth. Yeah. So now your belly is in touch with your thighs, literally. You see how my knees are bent a lot. Yeah. Feet either hip distance apart, right here. Keep that connection of your belly touching your thighs. And fold your legs. So all the weight is on your feet. Don't put any weight on your hands. See, I can even lift my hands off the floor and nothing changes. So that you can freely come to your fingertips and move your head from side to side. Back to center. And move your head as if you were saying yes, very gently and slowly. Then inhale, walk your head slightly forward. Move your thighs back, widen your sitting bones apart. You do like a cat pose type thing with your spine, your thighs, and your sitting bones. Exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Belly touching the thighs, let your head gently bend. Two more like that. As you inhale, lift and lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana, look forward. Excellent fold. And see, my knees are bent a lot, especially because I'm still not warm. But that could be the case for the entire class if you don't have a lot of flexibility in the backs of your legs. Inhale, lengthen. Excellent fold. Very good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your left leg back. Bend your front knee 90 degrees, 90-degree angle. Lower your back knee down into the earth. You can have a towel, a blanket, or fold the mat for support, extra support to your back knee if it bothers. Call your legs in. Draw your navel and your ribs in and back. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sit a little deeper. And then on your next exhale, hands back down into the earth. Lift the back knee up to step forward. Uttanasana, feet inner hip distance apart. Standing forward bend, belly touching your thighs, literally. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Look. Exhale, right leg back, bend your left knee at a 90-degree angle. Lower the back knee down into the earth. Again, use padding for the back knee if you need to. Hands to your front thigh for a second. Draw your navel and ribs back. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Inhale, reach up through your fingertips. Exhale, hands back down. Lift the back knee up. Inhale. And as you exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Feet either hip distance apart, fold over your legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Look forward, move your thighs back. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold over the legs. And then do this again. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, left leg back, low lunge. Lower your back knee down to the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, draw your navel into your spine and front ribs back. Step deeper into the front bend. Inhale, reach out through your fingertips. Exhale, hands back down into the earth. Inhale, lift the back knee up. Exhale, step forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Feet inner hip distance apart, belly to your thighs.
Inhale, lift and lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana, look forward. Exhale, right leg back. Low lunge. Lower your back knee down into the earth. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, Anjaneyasana. Draw your navel and front ribs back. Exhale, sit deeper into the front leg. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, hands back down into the earth. Inhale, lift the back knee up. Exhale, step forward, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. And stay folded here. Bend your knees as much as you need to again, so that your belly is between resting on top of your thighs. And we're going to begin to connect with the actions of the feet and the legs a little more and get more consciously grounded onto the earth. So spread your 5 toes, and this is all like first chakra work, Muladhara chakra, connection, being grounded. Root the 4 corners of your feet down into the earth. Base of the big toe, inner heel, base of the pinky, outer heel. Spread your toes, big toes away from the pinkies as much as you can, and press your 10 toes down into the earth. Yeah, hear your breath. Now from the feet, from the ground, pull the muscles of your legs up to the outer chins, to the inner chins, all the way up into your hips, into your groins. Yeah, widen your sitting bones apart. Shift your weight forward towards your toes, and just feel what you feel. And remember to keep the weight on your feet. You can really lift your hands off the floor and nothing changes in your pose. You're getting grounded. And from the pelvis, root your leg bones and feet down into the earth strongly. Allow for your spine to cascade down towards the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Look forward. Exhale, step your right leg back. Spin the back heel down to the earth. Parallel the front foot with the back foot, so you come into a wide-legged standing forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. And here, this is where you would need maybe a block or 2, or your shoe boxes, or your books. If you're sort of grounded like this, it is ideal to use this. You can lift your arms and be higher. Even bend your knees, move your thighs back so that the low back is in, sacrum is lifted, and your spine is long. You're not like this. That's not ideal. Not good for your spine, and you're really not opening the backs of your legs if you're doing that. Yeah, so either whether you're on the blocks, on the books, or on the ground, you choose to do that just like whatever your body really needs, so you can keep your spine long. Hear your breath. Root the 4 corners of your feet down into the earth. Lift your toes off the ground for a moment. Separate the big toes away from the pinkies, and then lower your 10 toes down into the earth. And once more, from the inner and outer edges of your feet, pull through the inner and outer legs all the way up into your groins, into your hips. Yeah, widen your sitting bones apart like crazy. Shift your weight forward into your toes. Lengthen your spine. Wrists directly under your shoulders. Even if you're here, or even here. Yeah. Hear your breath. Deepen your breath. Pull the front ribs and navel gently up away from the earth. Then on your next exhalation, walk your hands back towards your feet. If you can, line them up with your feet. That'll be great. Yeah. Bend your elbows back behind you towards whatever is back behind you. In my case, it's the wall that I have. And fold. Stage 2 of the pose. Shift your weight forward into your toes and hug your legs in towards one another. Just one more breath here. And as you inhale, walk your hands forward, wrists under your shoulders, thighs back. Toe heel your feet towards the center, about 1.5 steps or so. Yeah, so shorten your stance. Once you get here, pressing your heels down into the earth, lift the bases of your feet, of your toes. Turn the toes out about 45 degrees. Yeah. Bend your knees and bring your hands to the tops of your knees right here. Yeah. Hear your breath. Look at your feet. Lift and spread your toes. Root the 4 corners of your feet down into the earth. Separate the big toes away from the pinkies and lower the 10 toes down into the earth. Get grounded and rooted on your feet. Yeah. Lift the inner arches up.
Yeah, and pull from the inner and outer edges of your feet all the way up through the inner and outer legs, all the way up into your hips, into your groins. Widen your sitting bones apart, tone your belly. Move your front ribs into the back ribs, your navel into your spine. You can keep your hands here with your hands, press your thighs down to lift your chest up, or you can bring your hands up like this and move side to side. Or even here, you can move side to side. Goddess pose. So hip opener. This is more related to opening the chakra number 2, Swadhisthana, creativity chakra. And unleash your creativity. Hear your breath from your belly. Yeah? And then hands back down into the earth. Turn your toes to face the long edge of your mat, so parallel your feet with one another, toes pointing forward. Yeah. Turn the front toes towards the front of the mat. Lift the back heel up to square your hips. Yeah. Hear your breath. Now, make sure, so if your mat had an imaginary line like that divides the mat between right and left, make sure the right foot is on the right side of that line, and the left foot is on the left side of that line. Yeah. Bend the front knee at a 90-degree angle and walk the back foot a little further back, so you can really bend that front knee at a 90-degree angle. Maybe bring your blocks if you need them, or books or shoe boxes. Yeah, here you rock. You're gonna lean back and forward. So the front leg doesn't come all the way to straight, just a little bit. And the back heel lowers down towards the earth. Yeah, and forward, and back, and forward, and back, and forward, and back. Right here now, shorten the stance. Walk the back foot slightly further forward. Step or a step and a half. Straighten both of your legs, right your 10 toes, anchor the 4 corners of your feet down. Pyramid pose, Parshavottanasana. Here will be a great idea to go high if your spine is round. Okay, if you're here, just maybe bend the back knee, push your thighs back, lengthen your spine, lift your hands. Hear your breath. Right outer hip gently moves back the left outer hip moves back as the right outer hip moves forward on your mirror. Hear the breath. Inhale fully. And as you exhale, even if you're up high, bend your elbows and try to bring your nose or forehead towards your left. Inhale, lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Elbows out to the sides, forehead and nose towards your front knee, towards your front shin. One more time. Inhale, lift. Move the props if you have them. Step forward. Uttanasana. Standing forward. And the left leg is probably like screaming right now. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that your belly is resting on top of your thighs. Yeah. Move the 4 corners of your feet down into the earth and separate the big toes away from the pinkies as much as you can. Inhale, lift and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, left leg back. Very low step, low lunge. Front knee bends at a 90-degree angle. Hear your breath. Yeah. And then begin to lean forward and back. So go forward and back, lowering the left heel down towards the earth. And forward and back. You're going to stretch to your back calf muscle. A little mobility to your ankles. Hear your breath. Deepen your breath. Very good. And then once you come back to center, shorten your stance. Step or step and a half. Straighten your legs again. Use your shoe boxes or whatever prop you're using if you need to. Again, you don't want to round, you just really want to create space. Hug your legs in. Anchor the 4 corners of your feet down, spread your toes. Yeah. Widen your sitting bones apart. The minute you begin to widen your sitting bones apart, you're getting more into the work of the second chakra. Hear your breath, tone your belly. Move the belly and the front ribs up away from the earth. And that's a little bit more work for the third chakra, Manipura. Hear your breath. It's your strength, your willpower. Yeah, inhale fully, and then again, you do the same thing here. Push your thighs back, lengthen. Right outer hip back, left outer hip forward to square your hips. Exhale, bending your elbows, pull over your front leg. Inhale, lift. Thighs back. Exhale, bend your elbows.
Belly, nose and forehead down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Move the blocks. Very good. Step forward. Uttanasana. Standing forward. Again, keep your belly on top of your thighs. You bend your knees as much as you need to keep that connection. So for some of you, it's going to be a lot. For some of you, it's not going to be that much. Whatever you are. And even if you're down here, bring your hands behind the backs of your calves like so. Hug yourself with your hands pushed forward. Move your thighs back, widen your sitting bones apart, and fold over your legs. Even if your knees are bent, just fold over your legs. And from the pelvis, root down into your feet. Let your spine get longer. And inhale, lift. Bend your knees to some degree. Bring your hands to your hips. Point your shoulders and the elbows up. Lift and come up to standing. You're probably warm by now. And that's the idea. Hear your breath. Deepen your breath. Make sure that your feet are parallel to one another. Your toes pointing straight forward. Hear your breath. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Yeah. Hands on top of your sacrum like so. Hear your breath. Pressing and anchoring, getting grounded with your feet down into the earth. Four corners pressing down. Legs hugging in. Widen your sitting bones apart. Fronts of the thighs move into the backs of your thighs. Yeah, hear your breath. Now draw your navel back towards your spine, your front ribs towards the back ribs. Take a deep breath in. So from your hips, you're going to notice how the sides of your body get longer up towards the armpit and shoulders naturally on the inhale. And keeping that space in your shoulders back. Hear your breath. Deepen your breath. Keep your chin tucked in. Keep your feet pressing down into the earth. And either stay here. For some of us, being here, you can kind of feel, oh my God, there's a stretch in my shoulders, in the front of my chest. Yeah. If you can move your arms back without your shoulders rolling forward. Yeah. So your shoulders have to be able to stay back for you to stretch back. Keep your elbows slightly bent. Keep your front ribs moving back. Keep anchoring down into your foundation, into the earth with your feet. Yeah. Hear your breath. And then as you stretch your arms back, gently pull them down to lift your chest up. But keep your chin tucked in. Hear your breath. And gently lower, bend your elbows. Deepen your breath. Inhale. Reach your arms up overhead. Uddhva-sthasana. Exhale, dive down, standing forward, bend, Uttanasana, belly touching your thighs, literally. Inhale, lift and lengthen out of the Uttanasana, look forward, thighs back. Exhale, step back, plank pose, Balakasana. Hear your breath. Hands out or shoulder distance apart. Claw the floor with your fingertips, the base of your index fingers. You can have your legs together here for a little more power, feet together. Hug your legs in. Push the floor away with your hands. Shoulders are in line with your wrist. Keep your breath. Pull your navel and front ribs up away from the floor. Now pull the way up, away from the earth. Engage your core like crazy. Just one more breath here, and you're really tapping into your willpower and your strength, which is the third chakra, solar plexus manipura chakra. Now shift your weight forward, lower your knees down, and push back into child's pose. Take a little break here. Big toes touching. Spread your knees a little wider than the outer hips. Rib cage on your thighs, forehead and forearms down into the earth. Come to your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Hear the sound that you're creating with the muscles at the back of your throat and make your breath even. Inhale, come up. We're going to do plank variation, just forearm plank. So forearms down into the earth. Make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, so it's not over there, it's not back here, directly straight line, stacked under your shoulder, like so. Interlace your fingers, lower your hands down, yeah. Press your forearms down, press the outer edges of your hands down into the mat. Here you go. Move your knees slightly further back behind your hips, inhale fully. Draw your shoulder blades into your spine. Pull your belly and your front ribs up away from the floor as you tuck your toes under and straighten your legs. Legs together. Don't let your head pan. Keep the gaze at the tip of your nose. Yeah, keep looking at your hands. And it's not dropping down here. It's not lifting up here. Straight line. Squeeze your legs in. Press into your forearms. Pull your navel and front ribs up away from the floor. Just one more breath here. If you do all the actions together, forearms pressing down, legs hugging in, and the core pulling up away from the earth, the pose gets a lot more accessible. Knees down, child's pose. With toes touching, rib cage to your thighs, forearms and forehead down on the earth. Come back to your Ujjayi Pranayama once more. Continue on your belly. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of work. I'm really between two chakras, the third and the fourth. Like really working your core. I mean, you're really going to be working all of them. Just working your legs really connects you to the grounding aspect of the first chakra. And really, the action of widening your sitting bones apart connects you a little more with the second. The third is the core engagement, and then the fourth is the chest and heart opening. Hear your breath. Keep your chin tucked in. That taps into the energy center of the fifth chakra. It's giving you a little bit of information about that. Yeah, so forehead to the ground, hands on either sides of your ribs, feet inner hip distance apart. Hear your breath. Ujjayi breath. Spread your toes. Spread the big toes away from the pinkies. Click your toenails down into the earth. Even if all of them don't make it all the way down to the floor, your job is to keep pulling them down towards the earth to get them grounded. Yeah? And hug your legs in. Press your knees down gently. And widen your sitting bones apart. Pull your navel up away from the earth and the front ribs up away from the earth towards the sky. So even if your navel is still touching the ground, your job is to keep pulling it away from the ground. Yeah? Lift your hands off the floor. Lift your shoulders up. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift your chest. Your head comes with it into a variation of Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Pure core strength, willpower, Manipura chakra. Press down into your legs. Navel into the spine, front ribs into the back ribs, and the more you push your legs down and work into your core, see if you can lift your chest slightly higher. Yeah, and then slowly come down and rest. Or you can make a pillow with your hands for your forehead, or you can turn your head to one side. Ujjayi Pranayama once more. Hold the muscles at the back of your throat and make your breath even. Hands on either sides of your hips, forehead down. Feet inner hip distance apart. Spread the big toes away from the pinkies. Click your toenails down, hug your legs in. Gently press your knees down into the earth. Hear your breath. Pull your navel and front ribs up away from the earth towards your back body. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands off the floor, shoulders up, lift your chest and head. Keep gazing at the tip of your nose and lower your hands down on the earth. Press into your fingertips, heels of your hands and index finger knuckles. and push the floor away with your hands to come up into Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Yeah. Keep working your feet, your legs, navel into your spine, front ribs into the back ribs. Move your shoulders back. Hear your breath. Look straight ahead. Bhujangasana. And exhale, come back down. Again, make a pillow with your hands or turn your head to the opposite direction. Ujjayi Pranayama. Forehead to the ground. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Hear your breath. Press your legs down. Hug them in towards the midline. Click your toenails into the earth. Knees press gently down. Widen your sitting bones. Tone your navel into your spine. Inhale fully. And as you exhale, lift your shoulders up. Lift your chest up and your head comes with your chest. You can keep your hands here. In fact, if the appropriate thing for you to do when we were standing in the stretch was for you to keep your hands here, this is where you keep them. If you were able to lift them away from your body, you do that here. Yeah. Press your legs down, pull your belly into your spine. Yeah. And stretch your hands backwards to your feet to come up slightly higher. Shalavasana variation. Deepen your breath. Work your legs down. Tone your navel into your spine. Keep gazing at the tip of your nose. And exhale, come back down. Make a pillow with your hands. Deepen your breath. Bend your knees. Yeah. You can make circles with your ankles, one side to the other side. And straighten your legs and bend your knees. And straighten your legs. As you bend your knees, bring your heels towards your butt and straighten your legs. Yeah. And then bend and keep bending. Hug your legs and keep spreading your toes. Yeah. Hands on either sides of your ribs. Take a deep breath in. Lift your hands off the floor. Lift your shoulders up. Pull your navel up away from the floor. Lift your chest. Yeah. And then you can stay here. Reach arms back. If you can't reach, you can't, but just reach arms back for Dhanurasana variation. Or if you can hug, hold your feet with your hands, hug them. If the knees spread out to the side, hug them in. Spread your toes. If you're holding your feet, kick your feet into your hands to come slightly higher. Both pose Dhanurasana. Navel into the spine. Front ribs into the back ribs. If you have any sort of like low back discomfort, or you know you have low back issues, keep your knees down on the earth. It's going to be better for your lower back. Hear your breath. And then slowly come back down. Forehead down. Release. Make a pillow with your hands or turn your head to the other side. So you're stretching the front and the back of your chest, your upper back, and allowing the flow of energy to freely move through your heart center. Heart chakra, Anahata chakra. When you're closed, which we do when we're like seated or standing or fearful or stressed out, we tend to get small and kind of like round. So we do all of this to open up and allow the energy to flow in that area of the body. Yeah. Push up and back into all fours. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Mukha Svanasana. So push your hands down into the earth. Lift your armpits up away from the floor. Come high up into your tippy toes. And bend your knees about 34 degrees or so. Continue to get grounded on your hands pressing into the earth and your armpits lifting up. Yeah. Rotate the upper arms outwardly. Melt your heart down. Hear your breath. Yeah, that's another heart opening right here in down dog. Hugging your legs in. Widen your sitting bones apart. Lift your sitting bones up high. Hear your breath, and you really want to keep your knees bent here so that we really go for creating length in the spine after all the back bending that we just did. Knees bent, push into your hands, lift your sitting bones up, widen them apart, keep your belly and your ribs toned, and your knees bent, continuing the length here. Just one more breath. Ujjayi pranayama. And as you press your hands down, begin to lower your heels down towards the earth. Hear your breath. Inhale, take your right leg up to the sky behind you. Exhale, knee to forehead to step your foot forward in between your hands. Lower your back knee down into the earth. Again, use padding for your back knee if you need to. Hands to your front thigh. Hear your breath. So anchor the front foot strongly down into the earth. Keep the toes on the back foot tucked under and hug your legs in towards the middle. Yeah. Widening your sitting bones apart, create space in your low back and the head of the femur, the left femur bone moving back inside the hip socket. Sit a little deeper. Yeah. Now stretch the left arm forward and up. Yeah. Hear your breath. Bring your right hand to your right hip. You're going to bring the left side of your belly. From that side, you're going to begin to twist towards the right belly, towards the ribs. Yeah. To twist to the opposite direction. And you can bring the outside of your left arm, whichever part of your arm touches the leg, out there. Press the leg into the arm, arm into the leg. Take a deep breath in. Widen your sitting bones. Maybe twist slightly, just more, as you draw your navel into your spine. And if it's accessible to you, you can lower until you press your elbow against your leg and bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Maybe. But you don't want to be rounded here. If you're rounded, it's better to be here. Yeah? Thighs back, long spine. Hear your breath. You want to make it a little more challenging, lift the back knee off the floor. Deepen your breath. And wherever you are, knee down or here, as you hug your legs in, draw your belly in, lean back into your ears and shoulders. Woo. A modification of a standing twist. Yeah. And inhale to come up and step back. Downward facing dog. Press your hands down, armpits up, sitting bones up, hear your breath. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to forehead. Step the foot forward in between your knees. Lower your back knee down into the earth. Bring your hands to your front leg. Whew. Deepen your breath. Sit a little deeper into the front leg. Anchor the front foot. Root it and ground it. Keep the back toes tucked under as you hug your legs in. Now widen your sitting bones. Tone your belly and your front ribs. Inhale, right arm up. Left hand to the left hip from the right side of your belly. Turn, twist towards the left. And then again, you know the options here. Or elbow, hands together, knee down or knee up. Choose wisely. Hug your legs in wherever you are. Widen your sitting bones apart. Tone your belly and see if you can twist slightly more, lean back into your ears and shoulders. Just one more breath. And inhale to untwist. Exhale to step back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lower your knees now. Grab your block or your shoe box. Here in your breath. So if you have a shoe box that's empty, it may not be ideal for the next pose. You will be able to use it in another one we'll do in a little bit, but it won't necessarily be ideal for the next one. For the next one, if you don't have something like sturdy that doesn't bend, you can just keep bring like a towel or a blanket under your sacrum, and you're not necessarily going to lift as high, but that's okay. And the way we're going to do this, so we're going to do bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, and from that bridge pose, We're gonna make it into a supported version of bridge pose, which is when you bring the prop in underneath your sacrum to do a prep version or a modified version of Sarvangasana, shoulder stands, okay? You're not gonna go into the full Sarvangasana right now. It's not something I'd like to teach online, to be honest. It's better to be in the room, make sure that you're engaging in the right actions to teach poses like that. They're very delicate, very powerful. So we'll do modifications and you'll still be able to really benefit from that. And here we're tapping into not only like fourth chakra, heart chakra opening, but we're also going to begin to really move the energy and the work because of the shapes that we're taking into the fifth chakra work, Vishuddha. So bend your knees, feet inner hip distance apart. Make sure you have your prop handy, whether it's a blanket or a block or a book. A book is more sturdy. Hear your breath. Bend your elbows. Let me make sure you really see clearly. Yeah. Keep your chin tucked in. So your head's not tilted back. We're not going towards your chin. If it's really hard for you to keep your chin in without your head doing something funky like that, you may need a little bit like a blanket to lift your head gently, slightly there. Yeah. Press your elbows down. Spread your toes. Try to really feel the big toes spreading away from the pinkies. Anchor the four corners of your feet down into the earth. Press your elbows and shoulders down. Inhale fully. Gently press the back of your head down, keeping your chin tucked in. And lower your spitting bones down towards the earth. Create space in your lower back. Yeah. Now, keep lowering your sitting bones down and draw your navel towards your spine, towards the earth, and the front ribs towards the back ribs, towards the earth, towards your mat. Take a deep breath in. And maintaining all of those actions, lift your hips up. Press into your feet, elbows and shoulders. Walk your shoulders in a little more. Press the back of your head down into the earth. Bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. We'll be here for a few breaths. This is great to be right here. If it's accessible to you, again, if you were able to stretch arms back behind you with your fingers interlaced, you might be able to access it here. Yeah, you can interlace your fingers behind your back, walk your shoulders in and press down. If you're interlacing your fingers and your shoulders come off the ground and round like this is not the variation for you. You do yourself a favor by working with your elbows bent. Hug your midsection in. Gently keep pressing the back of your head down into the earth. With your hips up. And then reach for your prop. Again, sturdy, that doesn't bend. And place it underneath your sacrum. You don't want this to be too high up. So I recommend the medium size of the block. Bend your elbows. Press into your elbows and the back of your head. Your chin wants to come towards your chest, and your chest with your left. Darren Rhodes, an amazing yoga teacher, used to say that. It's really funny and it's easy to remember. So don't let your chin come towards your chest. Just keep your chin tucked in and press the back of your head down on the earth. Yeah. Right here, keeping the weight of your pelvis on that block. Bring your right knee into your chest. Bring your left knee into your chest. And this is the Sarvangasana shoulder stand variation. You can stay here if this is too much for you. Yeah. Heels in line with your knees, like 90-degree angle with your knees, or legs together, straighten your legs all the way up. Spread your toes. Deepen your breath. And hugging your legs in, draw your navel into your spine, press your elbows down, press your shoulders down, gently press the back of your head down. It's going to be super key to do that here. So that C7, that vertebrae, big vertebrae at the base of your neck right there, should not be touching the earth. Yeah, not in contact with the ground. Come to your Ujjayi Pranayama. Make your breath even. If you get tired, you can bend your knees And keep them bent, or lower your feet down to the earth. Take a break or two, a breath or two, and then come back up when you're ready. I'm going to be here for about maybe 30, 40 more seconds or so. The longer you stay in the pose, with any pose, the more benefits you're going to get. Yeah. Keep pressing into your elbows and shoulders and the back of your head. You really want to keep that space in your neck and shoulders. That's really what's going to activate that energy center of the fifth chakra, which is about like at the center of your throat. Pressing gently into your elbows, shoulders, and back of your head as you breathe consciously and evenly. About 2 more full breaths. And then slowly begin to bend your knees. Lower your feet down into the earth. Stretch arms out to the sides, and you can just stay here for a second. In a supported version of bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, which is a lovely version here. Palms facing the sky, and breathe. And Sarvangasana shoulder stance has many, many benefits. Some of those benefits are energetic, as I was explaining, but also is a great pose to do for thyroid issues, for example. Bend your elbows, press into your feet, elbows, shoulders, and back of your head to lift your hips up. Move the block out to the side, lower your hips, lower your sitting bones down towards the earth. Feet apart, knees together. Stretch arms out to the sides, palms facing the sky. Keep your wrist as high as your shoulders, or straight line with your shoulders so you're not high or low. Hear your breath and feel your breath. Ujjayi pranayama, toning the muscles at the back of your throat. Creating space in your spine, low back, and coming back to the natural curves of the spine right here. And also calming the nervous system as you're stacking your bones. It's a very soothing pose for your nervous system. Spread your knees apart. Take your right ankle over your left knee. Lift your hips up, move them over to the left gently. Take a deep breath in. Lower your sitting bones down, tone your belly, and let your knees come to the right and your head to the left. Gentle twist. Windshield wipers. Hear your breath. And twists have a very calming effect too. Ujjayi pranayama. Inhale to come back up to center. Lower the right foot down. Move your hips back to center. Left foot on top of the right thigh. Figure 4. Deep breath in. Inhale, lift your hips up. Move them over to the right. Lower your sitting bones down towards the earth. Create space in your low back. And let your knees come to your left as your head moves over to the right. Deepen your breath. Ujjayi pranayama. Inhale back up to center. Lower the foot down. Move your hips back to center. Roll off to your right hand side. Pause there just for a moment. And to keep the nervous system as calmed as it is, that's why you come to the side and push the foot away with your hands and pause. And come up.
Sit on a block or a blanket or any prop that you have to give a little bit of a height to your pelvis so that your knees can descend. You're not here, you're not rounded, right? Do your breath. Space in your low back. Sit the edge of your sitting bones. Deepen your breath. We're going to be doing a little bit more work for unlocking tension in the jaw and the throat, which is fifth chakra work. And the fifth chakra is associated with communication and self-expression. So very good to really have that channel open. The first thing we're going to do is hands to your thighs and begin to yawn. We'll do about 2 or 3 yawns. One more. That releases a lot of tension. And then keeping your mouth open. We're going to circle the head towards one side, all the way to the back and to the other side. But the key is to really have your mouth open, especially as your head moves back. That's what's really going to unlock tension. So shoulders back, deep breath in, open your mouth, relax your jaw, and lower your chin down towards your chest, and then begin to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, and then lean back, open mouth, and to the left side, and down towards your chin, and to the right, and continue. Once you come back to center, go to the other side. Open mouth. Probably hear clack, clack, clack going on, so it's important that you keep your shoulders moving back. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Through your mouth. We're going to do that a few more times until I ask you to stop. Just take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, saying, ah. So you feel that noise coming also kind of like with the same muscles that you're using for Ujjayi breath, muscles at the back of your throat. Again. Keep going until I ask you to stop. You can close your eyes if you want. About 2 more. Right here, we're going to do, the last one we'll do for this area is a variation of Svinhasana, lion's pose. So we're just not doing the type of legs that the classical pose asks us to do. Wherever you're seated, just make sure that you can place your hands down on the earth in front of you, and that you're not rounded with that. So hands down, widen your sitting bones apart, lengthen your spine, like if you were doing cow pose, move your shoulders back. And right here, the idea is to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, stick your tongue out and lower it down towards your chin, and gently open your eyes a little wider, and again, do that same sound, ha. And we're gonna do that for about 30 seconds or so. So you do it and repeat it, and keep repeating it, okay? So. It's important that you make that noise to come from the center of your throat too.
And come back to center. Hands to your thighs, close your eyes, and deepen your breath. Just let your breath be natural, not ujjayi. Just deepen it without necessarily creating ujjayi pranayama for now, this moment. Notice how you feel and what you feel. Open your eyes. Now we're moving on to working on the sixth chakra, which is called Ashna, and it's that energy center that's related with intuition. It's in the center, like in the middle between the eyebrows. So this is what you're gonna need, and the shoebox works for this one. A block, or a book, or a shoebox. If it's a book, it has to be able to stand like this. And we're gonna do a down dog with sort of like in a restorative way with the forehead down on the block. And ideally, so I'm gonna come a little closer to point at the spot that you wanna have on that block. So right here, the center of your forehead, in that kind of spot where your forehead meets your skull, right there, that's the part of your head that you're going to put on that prop, okay? So I recommend having it as high as it can be. Bring your hands in front of the block. So the block is sort of like under your heart, hands out or shoulder distance apart, knees behind your hips. And you might have to adjust the block maybe, but generally this measuring sort of works, yeah? So hands are a little further forward from the block. The heart is directly above the block, knees behind your hips, tuck your toes under. And you can watch if you want first. Take a deep breath in, press the floor away with your hands, armpits lift up, tone your belly, come up into downward facing dog with your knees bent for a moment. And as you lift your armpits up, melt your heart, lift your hips up and see. And even with your knees bent right here, see if you can find that spot where the center of your forehead, where the forehead and the skull meet, can be on the block. If you're more on the flexible side, you may need this block to be lower, yeah? So you can come down. For example, for me, even with the knees bent, it feels like the block restricts my movement. So it can be lower as much as whatever you need it to be, depending on the flexibility of your legs. But what's important is not the flexibility, but just that you have a good alignment in down dog and that your forehead is resting on that block. And we're gonna be there for about 30, 40 seconds, so it's not so exhausting for you. But ideally, you can build this to be a minute or so. The longer you can be there and hold the pose with integrity, the more benefits you're gonna get. Yeah? So you already know, push your hands down with the armpits up and find that spot. And if you can keep your spine long straight and relaxed. If you cannot, you can keep your knees bent. Yeah? What's important again is the integrity of all the actions you already know. And that the weight of your head is resting on that block. Deepen your breath. Now you want to activate Ujjayi Pranayama again. Toning the muscles at the back of your throat. And keep working the actions of lifting your armpits up, toning your belly, navel into the spine, front ribs into the back ribs. And really, if your body begins to go, oh, this is too much, just choose to hear your breath. You can come down and rest with your knees down, sort of like in child's pose, and come up when you feel that you can come up again. About 3 more breaths right there. Lower your knees down. Big toes touching knees apart. Move the block out to the side. Belly resting on top of your thighs, forearms and forehead down to the earth. And try again to bring that same spot down into the earth. The center of your forehead, in that spot where the forehead meets the skull, that's what you want to have on the right. Ujjayi Pranayama. A bit grounded in the awareness of the weight of your body resting on the ground. The earth supporting you, your body, your weight, yourself. Feel and hear your breath. Down dog in that way has some of the same benefits than, say, a headstand will have, which is like a lot more blood flowing towards your head, and it helps with memory. One of the things. With mental clarity. With having a vision, making it easier with that mental clarity to have a vision, which is also part of your intuition. And seeing the bigger picture. And then come up. And then move your legs out to the side. And sit down. Bend the knees. And right here, we're going to be doing now work for, say, like the 7th chakra, which is called Sahasrara. And that chakra is right here, the crown of your head energy center. It's sort of connected with your spirituality, whichever spirituality means to you. And it's also part of like being able to connect with like what your bigger purpose is in this world, and to kind of receive that guidance. It turns into like intuition as this information comes in, so that you can clearly see your vision and express it out and communicate it. And we're going down 7, 6, 5th with an open heart. Draw from your strength and your willpower, your creativity, your connection to the earth to be able to manifest the vision and the intentions. So one of the things we're going to do here, and we've done before, is alternate nostril breathing, which balances the energy between the right and the left side of the brain. It is wonderful for clarity, for kind of working with anxiety and depression. It has many, many benefits, alternate nostril breathing. So right now I'm not going to be your mirror. Usually when I say right hand right here, I lift my left. But for this one, I really have to do it on my right side, so I'm not going to be your mirror right now. With your right thumb, you'll cover your right nostril. Yeah. You bring the index and middle fingers towards the center of your palm, and you use the pinky and the ring fingers on the left nostril. So the right with the thumb, the left with the pinky and the ring, okay? And the way it goes is sit well, so get rooted, sit in the front of your sitting bones, distribute the weight in your pelvis, root down at the base of your pelvis, inhale fully, the sides of your body get long, lengthen your spine, shoulders back. Keep a gentle connection to your core. Yeah, left hand to your left thigh or your left knee. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Cover your right nostril with your thumb. Inhale into the left nostril. Cover the left nostril with the pinky and ring. Open the right and exhale out of the right. Inhale into the right. Cover the right nostril with your thumb and open the left to exhale. That is one cycle, okay? So we're gonna do this for about a minute, okay? So release for a second. Take a deep breath in. Shoulders back, tone your core. Left hand to your thigh or knee. Inhale again. Exhale fully. Thumb to the right nostril. Inhale into the left. Cover the left. Exhale out of the right. Inhale into the right. Cover the right. Exhale out of the left. Again, inhale. Cover the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Cover right. Exhale left. Repeat at your own rhythm. So finish the cycle that you're on, exhaling out of the left nostril. Once you're done with that, lower your hand down, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully and say, ha. And for a moment, as you release the control of your breath and let your breath be natural, no more ujjayi. Gently, with your eyes closed, keep your gaze in between your eyebrows. Notice the natural ebb and flow of your breath. Bring your awareness to the spaces in between breaths. The natural brief pause that happens at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. So you gently keep your gaze in between your eyebrows, like your third eye. And slowly deepen your breath. Meditation is another way in which you connect with the higher realms of pure consciousness, the absolute source energy, everything that there is in this universe. You can remain seated for meditation for the next few minutes, or make your way down to the ground for Shavasana. Your choice, choose wisely. Whatever you feel is appropriate for you right now. Your inner self is calling you to do. If you make it down to Shavasana, just move slowly and make sure that you stay connected to your breath. And notice the weight of your body resting on the ground if you're in Shavasana. If you're seated in meditation, you can continue to work with the same technique of the breath and the gaze. If you have a different technique that you want to use right now, you can do that. Really also be aware of the weight of your pelvis resting on the prop or the ground. Weight of your legs, and keep your spine long, which is sometimes harder to do than to kind of round and shrink. Begin to deepen your breath through your nose. Wiggle your toes and fingers one by one. You're seated in meditation. Switch the crossing of your legs. You're in Shavasana. Move and stretch in any way that you need to as you remain on the ground. A few more moments. If you're in Shavasana, bring your knees into your chest and roll off to the right hand side, resting on the ground in a fetal position, just breathing. Push the floor away with your hands, come up to seated. Sit tall and sit well. Again, really at the edge of your sitting bones. You need prop that you need to be seated so that you can create space for your lower back. And everyone, ground the weight of your pelvis down into the earth. And as you inhale, notice how naturally the sides of your body get longer, your shoulders float out towards your ears, gently move them back, gently engage your core, and close your eyes as you deepen your breath. Come to your Ujjayi Pranayama once more. Let yourself feel and be aware of what you feel and how you feel. The effects of this practice, you can kind of savor and notice right now. Also know that the effects of this practice, like any other, but especially more with intentionality, as we're really working to realign not only our physical bodies, but our energetic bodies. Really, there are ripple effects that you'll notice in the next few hours, days, weeks. And hopefully you can remain grounded during these difficult times and use this opportunity of the little extra time that you may have in your hands, with a lot of extra time that you may have. Really work in realigning yourself with your inner truth, with the essence at the core of your being, which is that you are an extension of source energy, of the absolute, of God, the powerful creator. And what would you like to create now that we have the chance to start doing things differently? So please join your hands together in front of your heart, prayer position, Anjali Mudra, and we'll end chanting one Om together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Inhale. The light within me recognizes and honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, any comment, any feedback.